What's up guys, FlamingVictini here, and I am finally back for another SPL recording. I wasn't able to catch any games on Saturday or on Friday, and I was a little busy helping my own team out. And I wasn't able to get any games the last time there was a week 2, and then there was mid-season in between. But I finally got another SPL game, and I just wanted to say before this game starts, as you see, we've got ABR versus CBB, but for the Stole Your Squad videos, I noticed, and the DPP laddering, I noticed you guys didn't like that so much as the regular PS lives, and part of it may be, I don't know, I'm not sure really why entirely, so I'd love it if you guys gave me feedback on that, so I can improve those things and make you guys enjoy it more, and expect some PS lives soon, and maybe I can get one more SPL game after this, but I'm not sure since it is Sunday. And there aren't, like, most of the games are done, and I missed quite a lot of them. It was just really tough for me. I didn't have so much time. But anyway, let's just get right into this game. Did look at the beginning, but I accidentally missed those turns. So basically, they've both got some interesting team. Well, ABR's team is pretty interesting. It's got a Terrakion and a Mega Latias, which is two Mond. Well, Mega Latias has been increasing in popularity for sure, but it's pretty cool. We also see a Tangrowth right there. CBB has just got some like really standard looking team. It has both a Gastrodon. CBB really hates those electric types, man. He's got a Latios, he's got a T-Tar, he's got a Gastrodon, he's got a Gliscor, and he's got a Ferrothorn. Good god. But looks like a fairly standard Zard Y build with using Gliscor, Latias. It doesn't have a Keldeo, which is interesting. Maybe it's a little bit Bisharp weak, but that might be Cursed Gastrodon. And basically what happened in the beginning of the game, ABR led off with his Lino T. As CBB led off with his Latios, ABR revealed himself to be a Choice Scarf set as he U-turned out of the Latios and went to his Heatran, as Latios I think dropped a Draco, if I remember correctly, and then ABR pulled a switch back into his Lando T as the Latios went for the Roost, and then U-turned again on CBB, switched to the Ferrothorn into his Heatran, and went for the Stealth Rocks on the switch to Zard. Okay, so now that CBB has gotten his Zard in, I think he's threatening the Heatran with either a Focus Blast or an Earthquake. I'm not sure which one CBB has, but he does look like Zard Y because of that T-Tar. And there we see he does Mega Evolve into the Zard Y, and oh my goodness, goes for the Fire Blast. Really nicely played by CBB, knowing that ABR would not risk leaving his Heatran in. Like, the way CBB brought in his Zard, that Heatran was just not going to stay in, and he capitalized on that really well to fire off a big Fire Blast right there that just roasted the Lando. But here we see CBB switch out his Zard Y into his Gastrodon, and ABR makes a really nice play there by going for the CC, knowing that CBB would try to preserve his Zard. It really helps him versus the Tangrowth, and it can just put on a lot of pressure, and yeah, going for the CC there was good. I don't think, we see it's Life Orb track, so it might be Double Dance or something, but we see that if it went for Stone Edge, it wouldn't have killed the Gastrodon, so then it would have been forced out into Tangrowth, and then that would have given CBB perhaps an opportunity to go for the Zard again, although he needs to be careful because, I mean, he has a T-Tar for the Hoopa, but if he goes to his Latios to defog stuff off, sorry guys, got interrupted there, but basically, if he defog that, if he gives defog, then that gives Hoopa a chance to come in, but, basically, CBB brings in his Gliscor to threaten that Terrakion after losing his Gastrodon, and there we see the Earthquake does very little damage to that Tangrowth, so I'm not sure exactly what kind of Tangrowth set that is, but that looks pretty physically defensive. And there we see ABR pull a switch into his Latias, I guess for a knockoff. That makes sense. If he didn't want to lose his item maybe, and Latias is Mega, so he can take knockoffs and threaten with Ice Beam. But there CBB goes to his Ferrothorn and pulls out the T-Wave, which is really good to T-Wave that Heatran, gives Latios a better chance to beat out the Heatran. But there we see CBB go back into his Gliscor on the Heatran as ABR pulls a double to Hoopa, and I think this Hoopa could be a bit scary. The way he brought it in, I kind of doubt that it's Choice Banded, even though I know ABR likes Choice Banded. Oh my god! There's a Dark Pulse doing 86%, that's huge, and so CBB tries to roost it off to scout what set that Hoopa is, but man, I need to run some calcs to really see what kind of Hoopa set it is, but looking at the damage, I think that might be Specs Hoopa. because 86% to a Gliscor is pretty big. I'm not expecting it to be SPDF Gliscor. Choice specs right here, yep, and oh my god, that Dark Pulse, yeah, that's not even full SPDF Gliscor, and that has to be specs Hoopa. So yeah, CBB does pull the switch into his T-Tar as ABR fires off another Dark Pulse. It does 24%, which is decent damage. I think we can use that to kind of maybe confirm that it's specs, but there, yeah, let's just run a calc to see. I just want to make sure if that's specs or not, and yeah, that's definitely specs damage to the Scarf T-Tar. So CBB gets off that pursuit as the Tangrowth comes in and pulls the switch into his Ferrothorn as ABR brings in his Latias once again. I'm not sure what exactly he's trying to get with that Latias, but there we see CBB just go for the Leech Seed, and I think maybe he can T-Wave this Tangrowth. Oh, he just sets up his rocks. Yeah, that too works. And then he chooses to go into his Gliscor on the knockoff, which is really good for CBB right there. He doesn't need his Toxic Orb on his Gliscor anymore, but he'd like to keep his Ferrothorn's item. As there we see the Giga Drain does 62%, so Gliscor heals up exactly to 50% after that, actually a little bit less, and ABR tries to predict CBB to switch out and goes for the Sleep Powder. That doesn't really work out for him, and goes into his Latias to beat out the Gliscor, but doesn't really take it on well, and yeah, the Ferrothorn comes in on the Latias, goes for the Iron Head, and there we see there's a Rocky Helmet Tangrowth, which really confirms that it's kind of like a physically defensive Tangrowth. And CBB decides to just go in with his Gliscor. He SDs up, and you see that that Giga Drain is not doing much, but on the turn Gliscor Roost, it'll be doing double the damage. And there we actually see that it's a Rock Slide Gliscor, and Tangrowth literally just healed up all of the damage that was dealt by that Rock Slide with that Giga Drain. And looks like CBB is going to try to stall this Tangrowth out. I'm not really sure how well that'll work. I kind of doubt like it will work. They're going really fast right now, but I think this is in kind of in ABR's favor since he's just healing up to full health. I think Giga Drain has more PP than Roost if I'm not mistaken. And oh, there's a critical hit. And yeah, I think CBB is kind of right that here, that he was just roosting off and he was kind of just asking for that crit in all honesty. But there we see the Zardwai come in, go for the Focus Blast as ABR pulls a safe switch into his Latias, I guess, and roosts off on the T-Tar as there he goes for the Crunch. And yeah, ABR recovers here, I presume, just to scout to see whether he went for the Crunch or the Pursuit, because he knows Latias can take one Crunch and roost off most of the damage. And CBB makes a good play here, predicts the Tangrowth, and goes to his Latios. So he actually chooses to go for the Recover and gets knocked off. So now he loses his Life Orb, which means he'll be doing less damage, but he'll also won't be taking that extra 10% when he attacks. And now the knockoff is also going to be doing less to the Tangrowth. And because he pursued that Hoopa earlier, ABR can't bring that in and just try to click a move to get a kill. But this Latios is actually looking like a pretty big threat, kind of. ABR could Sleep Powder it, but he's afraid of the Draco right there, so he just pulls the switch into his Heatran, fair enough. And CBB decides that he wants to try to wear this Heatran down as he gets burned by the first Lava Plume. That's certainly quite annoying for CBB because that really forces him to use the Roosts or Recovers a lot more often. And there we see the ABR does have the taunt. There's a crit Side Shock doing a sizey amount followed by a Para, but I think that first turn burn was quite big because that forces a lot more roosts from CBB's end. And yeah, he can just go to Hoopa right here and force the Latios to be at 50, take a -2, and ABR gets to bring in whatever he wants right here. It could be his Tangrowth. Yeah, he does go to his Tangrowth right here. And CBB's, yeah, because of the burn damage, now the Latios can't roost all this Tangrowth, which is really important, as I think CBB is just scouting out the knockoff rolls. But yeah, it looks like the Latios can't really stall out the Tangrowth, so he just has to lose his item on his Ferrothorn, and this is looking heavily in ABR's favor. The Tangrowth is being quite a big annoyance, and ABR's last 3 Mons happen to be the ones that take on Zardwai the best. So, I mean, Heatran doesn't really take Zardwai on that well, but it does have Taunt, so it can do something. And, wow, CBB is not even trying to paralyze this. I don't know why he's intent on going for the Iron Head. and letting his Ferrothorn die, but ABR is also intent on going for the knockoff and not the Giga Drain, so he also takes Iron Barbs damage, and oh my, there we see CBB go for the pursuit, assuming it'll kill the Tangrowth as it lives on a sliver of health, 1%. And wow, that physical defense investment that ABR put on his Tangrowth really came into handy right there and allowed him to kill that T-Tar and save his Tangrowth, which really swings the momentum of the game. But if it was Rock Polish Terrakion, I think he lost anyway because CBB's T-Tar was stuck in pursuit, and if it wasn't Rock Polish, then I think Latios might have been able to win on CBB's end. It would have been a tough call because ABR can try to force the Draco Meteor with his own Latias, and then from that try to play around like his Terrakion can survive a -2 Side Shock. Heatran can beat it better, but I think CBB had a chance if he killed off that Tangrowth. But I think it was still pretty much in ABR's favor, and I think the team matchup in general too was against ABR's favor. I hope I didn't say favor, but yeah, there he just goes into his Latios, clicks Ice Beam, and this forces the Draco Meteor from the Latios. I don't even know if it'll be a Speed Tie or not, but yeah, as CBB is saying right here, he shouldn't have gambled against that crit for sure. I don't know what he was accomplishing by roosting. I really didn't think he was accomplishing much, but his team matchup was also pretty horrid. I know there's not much to do, but ABR could go to his Terrakion right here, and I could see him going to his Terrakion right here. I'm gonna make sure that the -2 Side Shock won't kill the Terrakion. I mean, I guess it risks a crit, so, but yeah, it's looking like it won't KO for sure, but maybe you'd want to go to Terrakion now, because if you go Heatran and get paralyzed, oh, he does choose to go Heatran. If he gets paralyzed, could CBB win? I could, like, let's say if Heatran just keeps getting paralyzed, and CBB also gets a Stone Edge miss from the Terrakion, he might be able to win, but there's one para, and there's a crit too. Does he para? He does para right there. Does he para right here? That would be really big. No, he does not para right there. Gets off that taunt, and yeah, they just end this game. Man, that game was so fast. I mean, ABR games are so fast, but it's really hard to commentate actually, but when they go so quickly. Cause like I had to skip some turns right there to catch up, cause I could feel like I was lagging behind. But yeah, man, I don't know why they play so fast. But I think ABR's team advantage really just came into play. The Tangrowth was really annoying. The Latias was annoying. The Heatran was annoying, and the Terrakion was a pretty big offensive threat to CBB's end. He only got 1 kill with it, but ABR easily could have gotten more. Like on a Choice Lock T-Tar, clicks the right move and just something dies, and if it was Rock Polish or SD, something is definitely going to get the hurt. And I don't know, ABR never went for the Rock Polish, and the way he played it, I feel as if he might not be, but I actually want to try to see what were the chances of the Gliscor getting crit. So that's the chance of it not getting crit, and going for 10 Roost, the chance of him not critting for 10 hits was pretty much 50%, so I think, I don't know, those aren't horrible odds either, but I think CBB was risking quite a bit much by continuously roosting against the Tangrowth, and he didn't really accomplish much by it, unless he was able to PP stall the Tangrowth. But I don't know, I really feel like he was doing something wrong there with the Gliscor, and I also kind of curious about the turns. They were going really fast with the Tangrowth and the Ferrothorn just killing each other by going for the Iron Head on the Rocky Helmet Tangrowth and the knockoff on the Iron Barbs Ferrothorn. They were just killing each other. I was really curious why CBB chose to not Thunder Wave the Tangrowth. I don't know. I think that if you Thunder Wave the Tangrowth, it would work out better per se, but maybe he wanted the Maybe he wanted the Tangrowth to be able to move every single turn so that it'd take more Iron Barbs damage. That's one explanation I could see, but yeah, I mean, it was definitely a very tough game on CBB's end, and ABR's team advantage pretty much put in the work. I'm not really a fan of either of their teams, but definitely ABR had a team advantage there that was able to put in a lot of work. And yeah, the way ABR played his Terrakion, like on the turn his Hoopa got pursued, well, actually no, because he's forced to go into Tangrowth in that case, but what he could have done is what I was thinking is that what he could have done is that he could have left his Hoopa in on the T-Tar, and that way the Hoopa dies to Pursuit, and then he can bring in his Terrakion on the T-Tar, choice locked into Pursuit, click Rock Polish, and just be able to outspeed and kill everything. But I don't remember. I don't remember if that was at the point where the Gliscor had already died or if it was already weakened. Maybe he didn't want to risk Stone Edge rolls or something like that, but like the Tangrowth was really, really big, and the turn where it lived the Pursuit, that was just huge. I think it pretty much just lost CBB any chance to win. I still think it was pretty much in ABR's favor right there, but that just lost all chances for CBB. But yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.